Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. Happy Valentine's Day weekend. Hope you guys are all well. I am Mambo. I am the cover mother of Vision Adontour. I am your weekly reader. I'm also a founder and facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship and Adult Bitch Straight Up out of Oakland. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the weekly energy reading, weekly wisdom. This is where we kind of gather together, and I pull cards just to tell you a little bit about the energies ahead of us for the next 7 days. As you come into the room, hit those scale emojis. Let me know that you are with me. Say hello, and I will say hi back. I like this to be an interactive space. So we'll go ahead and just jump straight into it. So that way we aren't here forever tonight. Let's see. I will use Tarot of the Divine. Hey, Nicole. Thank you so much for joining. Good to see you. So we're going to start with the general reading. Then we'll go into some specialty topics after. If you are here because you want to get a question answered this week, I will definitely pause for questions at the end. Hello, Tiffany. Good to see you. But let's go ahead and get started. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits, walk with me. Elevated ancestors, what wisdom do you have for the collective at this time about the next 7 days? Give us insight into what we need to be aware of during the week of February 16th through the 22nd. Help us understand what we need to prepare for. Give us insight into the nature of any experiences we'll have, what energies we'll encounter, and what we need to be mindful of as a collective at this time. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. How are you ladies feeling after the cord cutting ceremony? How's your energy? I took a nap. I had to lay down. I was very tired. Clarify the Three of Swords. What do we need to know about the Three of Swords? This is going to be a tough week for a lot of us emotionally. I'm just going to be honest straight out the gate. If you did not get the opportunity to watch last week's Astral Hour, I'd like to strongly encourage you to go back and watch the replay. Because it looks like this spread is highlighting a lot of what we went over. We'll clarify over one more card and then I'll get started. A little sleepy? Yeah. That's normal. A lot of weight was lifted off, and I think that happens a lot with cord cuttings. You don't realize how much you're carrying until the energy has been lifted. Hi, Rain Rose. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I think some of the people who weren't in the cord cutting tonight or this afternoon probably could have benefited from it now that I'm looking at this collective reading. I think, especially with the energies that are coming up related to this new moon and this solar eclipse in Aquarius, a lot of us are carrying some difficult energy, and it's difficult energy from our past. It doesn't really represent our future. It doesn't really represent even our present moment. But I think this is a week where we're going to be replaying a lot of negative memories, losing a lot of sleep, right? We are carrying a lot of worry around that is causing us to have a loss of peace. Now, here's the thing. Are we capable of pulling ourselves out of that energy? Yes. If we can be future focused, if we can be strategic, we will absolutely be able to pull ourselves out of the energy. And if we can focus on what the heartbreak or the difficulty is there to teach us, that will really help us navigate it. But this is going to be a tough week for a lot of us in terms of carrying a lot of fear, a lot of worry about whether or not certain mistakes from our past will continue to haunt us, right? Now, the reason why I mentioned the cord cutting is because another thing that's going to help you manage a lot of this fear, stress, and worry that pops up previous week is spiritual discipline, right? The more disciplined you are, the easier it's going to be to navigate. Really rely on your spiritual regimen. Lean into prayer, right? The more disciplined you are, both not only in terms of your spirituality, but your habits overall, the easier it's going to be, right? I get that if we sit around in stagnation and worry about the past, then that will consume us. So it's action, it's discipline, it's focus, it's our routines that are going to give us the stability to not be overcome and overwhelmed, to not be self-sabotaging energy, or honestly to even be manipulated, right? Because I don't get that this Seven of Swords is about self-sabotage as it is about, I think some of you guys are going to have some pretty gnarly realizations this week about people in your life that you really want to believe mean you well, but they don't, right? Because Seven of Swords is manipulation. It's thief card. It's people, look at this artwork, right? This poor little fox is like looking back and seeing some sort of shadow, right? It's that a shadow is creeping up on them. So there are people in your space who are presenting to you one way, and the mask is going to fall, right? A sword is going to drop. You're going to see that they've been manipulating you. They've been moving one way in front of your face and doing other things behind their back or behind your back in order to keep you distracted, right? And that's why that Nine of Swords is here, because this is happening and it's going to feel like a trigger from your past. You're going to feel overwhelmed and feel like, why does this keep creeping up on me, right? And here's the thing. Negative patterns don't stop until you break them. So rather than falling into the woe is me energy, it's really important to look at yourself and think, okay, how has my fear of expansion put me in a position where people are manipulating me? How has my fear and my deficits made me act from a place of scarcity that is making my world smaller than what it actually is, right? When we are afraid to make a lot of friends and we cling to certain people out of what we believe is loyalty, we actually make our worlds very small. When we don't expand ourselves in terms of business or our social circles, and we only lean or rely on one or two people, we give those one or two people a tremendous amount of power. When we can just step out of our comfort, make our worlds bigger, really involve ourselves in the expansion of our life, instead of letting fear put us into a mentality where we make the world really, really tiny, right? So I think that's a lesson. I think some of you guys are going to be hurt by some of the things you learn about certain people in your environment. And it's really important that you, rather than allowing your nostalgia to overwhelm you, right? And allowing that nostalgia to put you in an energy of false loyalty, really evaluate what that person represents in terms of a pattern and allow yourself to do what you need to do to break that pattern, right? Because that's the thing about Six of Cups energy. Yes, it's inner child healing. Yes, it's evaluating the former versions of ourselves, but it's doing that in order to figure out what we needed to learn about those past versions, right? So again, going back to this Nine of Swords, some of you guys are losing sleep because you won't move forward. You won't leave certain people behind. You refuse to acknowledge the red flags around you, and you excuse it away, thinking that you're being loyal to somebody who's not very loyal to you. who will stab you in the back the second they get a chance, right? Who is purposely trying to steal your peace, right? We end with the Three of Swords. So yeah, is the revelation you receive going to be heartbreaking? Absolutely, but there's wisdom to come from that heartbreak. And the nature of that wisdom is meant to teach you, to refine your skill set, to refine your discernment, to break away from imposter syndrome, right? To really give yourself the knowledge and the power you need to have better circumstances as you move forward, and to remind you that you're capable of doing that, right? I think that there are people in our lives, again, I'm going to say our because this is a collective reading. I think there are people in our lives that we refuse to imagine a future without. We refuse to believe that we can't be powerful without those people in our orbit. But in actuality, those people may be limiting your power, limiting your experiences, and putting you in a position to be played, to be taken advantage of. One of my favorite representations of this card is in the Millennial Tarot, and it's literally called the card of the pyramid scheme. And what is a pyramid scheme, right? It's somebody who's coming along with a scam, trying to convince you that you absolutely need that scam, when in actuality, they need you more than you need the thing that they're offering, right? And Four of Pentacles, some of us have spent so much time building walls, thinking that we're making ourselves safe, but actually those walls are just a form of restriction, right? So whatever it is you learn about the people in your life this week, or the person that this is that's represented in the Seven of Swords, really confront that information. Let it shift you, and let it give you understanding about how much power you actually have, so that you don't put yourself in a position where you continue to be victimized, right? I see now why the Hierophant is here, because it's through spiritual discipline, right? It's through our routines. It's through meditating when we don't feel like it. It's through taking that time to get that extra, that third, fourth, fifth prayer in during the day that allows us to have the realization, right? Whereas there may be people and circumstances in your life that try to keep you so confused and distracted that you don't lean into your discipline. You don't lean into the habits that are going to strengthen your discernment, that are going to bring you change, right? So that's the general reading. Again, it is not the most positive in tone, but I'm not here to just pour positivity. I'm here to give you the truth. And Spirit really wants you to be prepared for the fact that you may learn some difficult things about people that you hold dear this week. And it's not to hurt you. It's not to break you. It's to allow you to understand how you may be leaving certain doors open for you to be taken advantage of. And it's meant to give you an understanding or the insight that's necessary for you to engage in spiritual discipline, spiritual hygiene, so that you don't leave those spaces open anymore. Okay? All right. We'll do money next. Let's do money next. Let's see what's in store for us with money. Hold on a second. Been talking way too much today. Throat is dry. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with us, elevated ancestors. What wisdom does the collective need at this time about their money, finances, and the flow of abundance in their lives over these next 7 days? What lessons around wealth and abundance does the week of February 16th through 22nd have in store for us? Give us insight into how we need to respect, protect, and cultivate an environment for our money to grow over the next 7 days. If there are any challenges, blockages, lessons, blessings related to this area of life, highlight them now so that we know how to best prepare and protect ourselves. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. You forgot what was today, Rain Rose. What are you? What did you forget? Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat until just now, so I don't know what you're referring to. I want to acknowledge that of the 6 cards I've pulled, 3 of them are cup cards. There's only 1 pentacle card here, okay? So a lot of what we are dealing with in terms of our finances in the week of the 16th through the 22nd really has a lot to do with our emotions, okay? So really paying attention to the way that your emotional energy, your spiritual energy impacts your finances is going to be really important for a lot of us this week, okay? Clarify the King of Cups. What do we need to know about the King of Cups? Give us wisdom about the King of Cups as it relates to money and wealth. Yeah. Some of us are still struggling with emotional discipline. And in this instance, the emotional discipline, I know in past readings we've talked about struggling with emotional discipline as it relates to superfluous spending, right? But for a lot of us, this emotional discipline is much more about spirit of comparison and having the discipline to trust yourself to make certain choices, okay? We have the King of Cups. He is the emotional healed father, right? He provides love and discipline in equal measure. He is very compassionate, right? And I think that many of us have a hard time with saving and budgeting because we think it has to be harsh. We think it has to be mean. We think it has to all be about restriction. The King of Cups is coming up because it's teaching you how to guard your emotions, yes. But what does it look like to save in a way that feels good, that feels fun, that makes you feel safe, and not like you're dealing with restriction, right? And I think this is hard for some of you because you are listening to people who don't even live the kind of lives you want to live give you advice about money or make you internalize ideas about where your finances should be or the kind of financial moves you should make, right? So the reason why the King of Cups is coming up is because part of how you protect your emotions is by standing your ground and doing what you know is right for you financially and not listening to other people, rising above the haters, right? You may be telling yourself, okay, I really want to invest in crypto, but you're listening to somebody who doesn't make as much as you tell you you don't have enough money to do that. Why would you listen to them? Right? You're probably telling yourself, okay, I'm working really hard. I want to take a vacation at the end of summer. Somebody who doesn't make as much money as you or who hasn't taken a vacation in the last decade is looking you in the face and telling you that's a waste of your money. Why would you be listening to them? So the King of Cups is coming up to say, in order for you to not only be spiritually disciplined in the ways in which you need to, so that you can live a life of wealth, abundance, and sovereignty, right? Because that's another word that we need to think about more when we get the 9 of Pentacles. This is freedom, financial freedom. It's not just that they have a lot of money. This is somebody who is financially free. So why would you take life advice from somebody who's not financially free, who's never been financially free? That's only going to confuse you emotionally. So the King of Cups is coming up to say, part of how you not only engage in discipline spiritually, but how you protect yourself, protect your emotions, protect your mind, is by being mindful of who you listen to. And if these are people that don't live a life that you want to have, you have to rise above whatever noise they're bringing you and ignore them. Make your decision, stand your ground, okay? Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't recognize that handle. I'm used to you seeing you with another one, Johnny. Um, I'm gonna be uploading the recording before the night is over, so we can do it one on one. Okay, we can touch base and do it one on one if that's what you want. Um, Now here's the thing. Once you are able to do that, that's gonna bring you a lot of freedom, and it's gonna bring you freedom in two ways. Not only are you going to be able to move forward with enthusiasm on a plan that you fantasized a lot about, right? In terms of your financial freedom, in terms of your financial safety, right? Knight of Wands, Aries energy, the initiator, somebody who's moving without thinking or caring about what other people have to say, right? But it's also a card of joy, and it's a card of peace. And a huge part of the reason why a lot of you guys don't feel joy, why your money doesn't bring you happiness, why you feel stagnated financially, is because you are listening to the wrong fucking people. So once you are able to exercise the emotional discipline that involves you prioritizing yourself and your needs, not only are you going to be able to move forward on something that you're passionate about, that you've been avoiding, but you are just going to be much more happier. You're going to be much more joyful. You're going to be able to celebrate your wins and be happy, right? Because Knight of Wands is somebody who is happy. They're experiencing life, and that experience of life brings them joy. Okay? Now here's the other thing. Once you're able to drown those other people out, it's also easier for you to find the community of like-minded people. Because the people in the Seven of Wands don't even represent the majority of energy around you. They're just fucking loud, right? You actually have Ten of Cups energy around you. There are a lot of people who either have made the kind of changes you want to make or are in the process of making those changes. And they see you as a part of their community that they also want to win alongside of them. Focus on those people this week when it comes to your money conversations, okay? Really allow yourself to have fun and be at peace. Another message that I'm getting from the Seven of Wands, along with this Ten of Cups. Sorry, I'm looking at my candle. Focus on the people that want to spend time with you, but you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money, right? There may be somebody who really wants to see you and wants to vibe with you, but all they want to do is go to the river. All they want to do is go take a hike or a walk with you. All they want to do is have you come to their house and pour a glass of wine or pour a cup of tea, right? They don't need you to showboat. They don't need you to go out to some lounge where you waste $300 on watered down drinks that you could have made at home, right? Pay attention to the people that want to be around you for you, that want to have shared memories for you. Because another thing about some of these Seven of Wands people, they may tell you not to do something that's going to push you forward with your money because they want to borrow from you, or they want to benefit from you, or they want to have you show up in the same small place over and over again because that brings them comfort. So no, they don't want you to save your money so you can go to Bali at the end of summer. They want you to use that money to go to happy hour with them because that's what they do. That's how they waste, right? So this is a week about perspective, about being able to control your emotions and making sure that your emotions are not putting you in a position where you're doing things with your money and your finances that are going to bring you difficulty or a lack of peace later. Queen of Cups, the card of emotional safety. We have emotional discipline in the King of Cups. We have emotional safety in the Queen of Cups. We have the King and the Queen of the same suit in this spread. Again, your relationship with money this week is deeply dictated by your emotions, okay? Deeply dictated by your emotions. So if you feel yourself getting panicked around money, it is really important for you to stop and calm down and ask yourself, do I have my needs met? Are my needs met? Right? Because that's the thing about Queen of Cups. When her needs are met, when her cup is full, she's good. She's able to nurture. She's able to see clearly. And this is also under that King of Cups being clarified by the Seven of Wands. Don't loan nobody no money this week. Right? Some of you guys may be okay financially, but you don't have overflow. Your cup's not overflowing in this moment. And that's not a judgment. That's just a reality. right? Queen of Cups is only meant to give from her overflow, not her drops. And somebody may be trying to coerce you into going against what you need to do to be financially safe, emotionally safe, because it's what benefits them. They need those drops at the bottom of your cup. That's not your business. That's not your focus. Take care of yourself. Protect yourself, right? Also, another thing, Queen of Cups is highly intuitive. There are certain people in your life that you know it's not safe to have money conversations with them, but you ignore that intuitive hunch. Don't do that this week. When that Queen of Cups energy comes up and you feel like that person is not safe to have financial conversations with, to tell them about where your money is, to tell them about the jobs you're applying for, to tell them about the spiritual workings you're doing, to call in difference. When you feel that intuitive hunch, listen to it, because that is the Queen of Cups in you, right? That's telling you this person's not emotionally safe. I don't need to be having these conversations with them, right? Now, why are emotions coming up so much? Because we're going to make progress this week. There are some initial steps we get to take that push us into the future, right? So again, a lot of the things we've been thinking about, we actually get to take action on them this week, right? The opportunities are opening up and we get to move forward. So the last thing you need as you're trying to move forward, as you're trying to spark something off the ground, as you're trying to get something going, the last thing you need is somebody in your ear telling you that you don't need to be doing that, telling you that that is not where your focus should be. Three of Wands is a very individual energy. You are moving and traveling by yourself. You are making expansion by yourself. This is not a time for other people to be distracting you, right? This is also coming up because a good number of us are going to receive some sort of blessing, some sort of generosity from another person. And it's somebody who is from that Ten of Cups community I mentioned earlier, right? The like-minded people, the people who've either made the progress that we want to make or who are figuring it out, right? So generosity is coming in. And the last thing you need as generosity and overflow is being poured into you, right? These resources from institutions, these gifts from benefactors. The last thing you need are people in your ear telling you how to mismanage this overflow and this blessing, okay? So again, emotional discipline, emotional safety, emotional stability is really what's going to help us have expansion around our finances as we go into this week, right? So this is not a week to be in a spirit of comparison. This is not a week to allow people to distract us from what we want to do. This is a week for us to really buckle down, focus on ourselves and our pleasure. Some of the financial moves we make may seem selfish from the outside, but guess what? That's our business. That's our business, right? And the same people that will try to tell you to not do something because they don't want to see you elevate beyond them. They don't want to see you in a position where you get to have these experiences they don't have access to. They want you right next to them, wasting your money on happy hours, wasting your money on sales, at the TJ Maxx on the clearance rack, buying shit that you ain't gonna use, right? They want you right next to them, making them same piss poor decisions. And that's not where we're meant to be. We're meant to be in a space of elevation. We're meant to be in a space of ideal community, right? So that is the finance reading for this week. Let's look into health and wellness next, and then we'll wrap up with love, okay? Hey, Dulcinea, good to see you. Sisters, angels, ascended masters, spirits who walk with me, elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about the week of February 16th through the 22nd, as it relates to our health and wellness? Give us insight and wisdom around our health and wellness for the next 7 days. Help us understand the patterns we need to sustain, release, or maintain that will allow us to have a good balance of our holistic health, mind, body, and soul. If any of us are struggling in a particular area of our health, highlight it so that we know how to best heal it. Reveal what the medicine is that we need at this time. If there's areas of our health that are being neglected, highlight those so that we know how to bring balance into mind, body, and spirit. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hey, Kodan, good to see you. Clarify the Seven of Cups. What do we need to know about the Seven of Cups? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I'm regretting not buying more than one of these. I bought a candle off the clearance rack. I was just talking shit about shopping off the clearance rack 2 seconds ago, right? But I bought a I bought a candle out the clearance section a couple days ago because I'm always in Home Goods. Home Goods has amazing deals for mason jars. For all my priestesses and conjure girlies out there, I know we think of Dollar Tree first when we try to buy jars and stuff, but the best deals are actually at Home Goods. You can get like huge, like literal racks of mason jars for like $6, $7, right? So I was scrounging for mason jars and I bought a candle in the clearance section and it smells fantastic. And I'm really regretting not buying at least 2 more of them. I was like, I'm here for jars, not candles. So I just bought one instead of all of them, but I'm regretting that now because it smells fantastic. I see now, so a lot of what we talked about in that first general spread is coming up in the health reading, okay? Seven of Cups, a lot of us, I'm not going to fucking cry. I'm going to get through this reading without crying. I think this week, and the new moon is on Tuesday. Again, if you guys did not get the opportunity to watch Astro Hour, go back and watch it. A lot of us are going to be overwhelmed with the amount of opportunity that's presented to us, not just this week, but as February comes to a close. And a lot of us are going to be dealing with choice paralysis as a result of these options that are presented to us. And the choice paralysis is not coming from the nature of the choices per se. It's coming from heartbreak. I think some of us are struggling. A lot of us have done a lot of, and I love that this representation literally has the cups as lamps. I think that's brilliant. Because a lot of us have been doing spiritual work to call in opportunity. And now that we're starting to see the tides change and the opportunity come in, instead of being in a space of gratitude around that, there's a sense of heartbreak. And that heartbreak comes from past experiences and wounds that are now triggering your worthiness as these opportunities are coming to you. That's the nature of the spiritual confusion in the Seven of Cups this time. It's not so much that the opportunities that are coming to you are unclear or there's a potential for betrayal due to the lack of clarity. The lack of clarity is around self-betrayal because some of us, although we've done all this work to call the opportunity in, we haven't done enough work to prepare ourselves spiritually and emotionally for the opportunity. So there's a sense of overwhelm here that may make us doubt whether or not we are ready or deserving of these opportunities. If that's you, get to work. Get to work. Fight that imposter syndrome. Okay? Really, really work on your skill set. Okay? Strength card. Take the opportunities even though you're scared. Take them even though you're scared. You called them in for a reason. Spirit believes you deserve them for a reason. Take them on and believe in yourself. Believe that you are capable of meeting this challenge. Okay? Spiritual and emotional health are at the forefront of this reading. A lot of you can't carry the version of yourself that is full of doubt into this new space. They're not meant to go with you into this next chapter. You have to leave behind the scared version of you, the version of you that is rooted in doubt. You have to leave that behind. You have to. And you have to leave it behind, trusting that everything that you are moving towards is better than what you are leaving behind. You have to have faith that the spirits that guard you and that walk with you would not bring you towards opportunity that you are not ready for. Everything that you've asked for is coming to bear. And now you got to toughen up and be the version of yourself that is ready for it. Why is that coming up in a health reading? Because you don't have to overwork for what is coming your way. And that is part of the false belief you have to leave behind so that you don't hurt yourself and overwork yourself. When Chariot is in reverse, it's unhealthy ambition, right? It's Mariah Carey at the glitter, during the glitter premiere working 20-hour days, right? It's all work, no play, grind hard, no sleep, all that bullshit, that alpha male ultra work bullshit that we've absorbed as a culture, right? That's Chariot in reverse. That leads to heart health issues. That leads to nerve issues. That leads to you literally passing out from overwork. And that is not an energy that we can embody. Because again, those lamps you lit, those prayers you sent off were meant to bring you ease. The opportunity that is coming your way, the path you are going down, the waters you are traveling over are taking you out of the overwork and the exhaustion, right? And if you believe that you don't deserve what's coming to you, you will either sabotage the opportunity or you will feel like you have to overwork to prove that you are deserving of it when the worthiness is already there. Spirit wouldn't give it to you if they didn't think you were worthy, right? So really work on your emotional health this week so that when opportunities come to you, instead of feeling like you don't deserve them, and in order to prove you deserve them, you have to overwork yourself. You have to harm yourself. You have to drive yourself into the ground. No, you don't. That's only going to make you sick, right? This is coming up for your spiritual protection, for your emotional protection. Another thing, stop talking to everybody. I know I hinted on that a little bit earlier in the finance reading, but stop talking to everybody. This is not a week where you got to talk to everybody, right? One of the things that the Queen of Swords understands, and her husband, the King, understands it too. What they both understand is that everybody doesn't need to know their moves. Everybody doesn't need to have access to them. Now, they do it for different reasons. King of Swords doesn't want idiots fucking up his strategy, right? He has a war plan and he's trying to execute it. Queen of Swords knows that she is sensitive and that she's precious. And in order to protect her preciousness, she would rather come off like a bitch who has a ton of boundaries, right? That'll cut you if you get too close, than to let you get close enough to hurt her. Why am I saying this? Again, I'm going to go back to this 7 of Cups. A lot of this self-doubt and lack of belief don't even belong to you. And that's why it's coming up through the Three of Swords. These are false beliefs that you've accumulated through experiences. And you're still learning how to let them go. You're still learning to discern between the voices that's stuck around in your head that don't belong to you and your actual intuition. You're still learning that, right? And because you're still learning, and because you're still trying to figure that out, the last thing you need is a bunch of people around you while you're figuring things out and working it out. So don't be telling everybody your business this week. Yes, Tamika, move in silence. Move in silence. And understand that that silence is for your emotional protection. Queen of Swords has one or two people in her court. Mostly her husband, right? Because they provide each other wise counsel. That's the nature of their marriage. And then maybe like one friend or associate, right? But this is not a time that as soon as you get the download, as soon as you get the revelation, as soon as you get the opportunity, this is not a time to run your mouth about it. It's too precious. And your spirit is too precious right now. So this is not a week to talk to everybody. Protect yourself by keeping your mouth closed. All right? Why is all this coming up? A lot of us are actually really, really blessed to have really good health right now. We're good. We're good. We have everything we need. Mind, body, and spirit. Right? And again, Nine of Pentacles is not just about having good physical health. It's about freedom. It's about autonomy. It's about liberation. Right? It's very much a card that is about our sovereignty. So stop running your mouth to everybody, because you give people the access to hurt you emotionally, to bring that worry into your spirit when it doesn't even need to be there. And if you're already healthy and if things are going good, why invite stress by over talking, by sharing your blessings with the wrong person so that they can put a whole bunch of doubt and confusion into your head and heart that wasn't there in the first place, okay? In addition to not talking to everybody, some of you guys are still figuring out how to let go of some burdens that don't belong to you, Ten of Wands. That's the only thing showing up that can be an impediment to our health this week. Some of us are not too obligated. We have too many obligations. And a good 80% of the obligations we have don't belong to us. Okay? So in addition to making sure that you're not telling everybody your business, in addition to making sure that you are balanced in terms of your heart so that you don't run from the opportunities and the blessings that are coming to you, what can you take off of your shoulders to make space for the blessings and opportunities that are coming to you? I know I keep going back to this Seven of Cups, but she's saying a lot tonight. That's another part of the reason why some of you guys, even though these are blessings that you prayed for, you don't feel like you're ready. How many of you guys have your plate so full of distractions, other people's bullshit, other people's obligations, other people's worries, that you feel like you don't have enough time and enough space for you? Rather than potentially messing up your ability to move forward and get closer to what you want, take that shit off your shoulders. There's some people you're going to have to say no to. There are some obligations you're going to have to walk back. But you need to do it for the sake of your mental and your spiritual health. Because there's no way that you can be taking care of everybody else and take care of yourself. Okay? So that is the health reading for this week. I got through it. Y'all didn't get me. Y'all did not get me. I didn't cry. It almost came, but it didn't happen. Let's get through this love reading now. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits, walk with me. Elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need at this time about love and romance give us insight into what will cross our paths as it relates to love, romance, and matters of the heart during the week of February 16th through the 22nd. Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environments that will allow us to have the experiences of love and be loved by those around us over the next 7 to 10 days. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Clarify the Queen of Cups. What do we need to know about this Queen of Cups? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Pulling clarifiers over the Queen of Cups because although she's upright, I feel something in terms of reversal. So I just want to make sure. Yeah. Your intuition is going to be really important for you when it comes to love and romance this week. Some of you all, you know your partners are there for you. They're ride or dies. They love you down. But because you are pissy about things that have nothing to do with them, you may be prone to mistreating them. Some of you guys are in situationships with people who you know something's off. You know they can't fill your cup in the way that you need. But because you're moving from that debilitated Queen of Cups tendency to be codependent, right? To feel like you're not worthy unless you're attached to someone. You are denying your own intuition. Stop doing that shit, right? Whether it's positive or negative, listen to your intuition, right? If it's not filling your cup, if it's not meeting your needs, and if you know it's not meeting your needs, and you feel that it's not meeting your needs, the answer is not to manipulate yourself into believing that you are wrong and that you're doing something wrong, and that if you just smother harder or love harder or cling more deeply, it will change. You know this because your intuition is telling you that. Listen to her. High Priestess. Listen to her. Right? It is not your responsibility to overperform to make somebody love you. If that love is not filling your cup, listen to that. Don't manipulate yourself. Okay? Now, here's the thing. That's not to say that you won't receive the love that you need. A lot of us are actually in really beautiful situations. 9 of Cups. We're very, very grateful for where we are romantically. We feel very full. Our cups are overflowing. And this is whether we're single, alone, or in a situationship. We're really good and we're really happy with where we are right now, right? A lot of us are receiving love overflowing. Our hearts are open. We have the capacity to receive. This is very beautiful, right? And whenever we have the capacity to receive, when the heart is open, the universe will meet us with opportunities for it to be full, okay? But we got to be honest with ourselves. Some of us are projecting shit from our shadows into our reality, okay? And that's what I meant when I said there are some of you all in relationships that are being mean to your partners, even though they ain't even doing shit to you right now. That's because you are projecting a shadow that you have onto this person that actually just wants to love your stank ass. So confront your shadows. Get down to the depths of what's making you uncomfortable so that you don't push your genuine love away. But if you are somebody who's accepting drops from a person right now, again, Queen of Cups, get to that shadow and ask yourself, why? Why am I letting this happen to me? Because right now, if you are in a position where your cups are not full, it's only because there's something going on with your shadow that's allowing you to accept this dynamic, okay? Why is this coming up? Ace of Cups, heart chakra being open, the ability to receive. Ace of Pentacles, universe pouring into you, windfall, increase. This is going to be a really good week for those of us who are single, right? For those of us who actually have the bravery to go outside and look like something, right? Attraction is going to be very, very high, right? And even those who are in relationship, don't be surprised if your partner is a little bit more lovey-dovey than usual, right? They want to love on you. They want to pour on you more than usual. Ace of Pentacles is a very favorable love and romance card because it's an energy of unexpected overflow, unexpected infusions of energy as it relates to romance and low-key sex, right? So don't be surprised if those of you who have somewhat demisexual partners are just really out of nowhere wanting to be up on you and love up on you, right? Because again, Ace of Pentacles is the physical body. It's attraction coming from unexpected places, okay? So be ready for that. But you can only be ready for it if you take charge of your energy. The Magician. You got to show up like somebody who wants that. You got to be somebody who really can take control of your energy and create through alchemy the experience and the environment that you want. That's why I'm telling you, work on your shadows right now. If you're being mean to your partner out of nowhere for no reason because you have some shadow that's gnawing at you that you're projecting onto them, it doesn't matter how unusually affectionate they feel, they may pull back, right? Doesn't matter how cute you are in the world. If somebody wants to talk to you, and then as soon as they walk up to you, you roll your eyes and you look at them like they're trying to snatch your purse, it's not going to fucking matter, right? So you have to be in charge and aware of your energy this week. You have to have control over your magic and the environment that you are creating for yourself in terms of the ability to even accept heart chakra, Ace of Cups, even accept romance and overflow, okay? So that is the love reading. We're now at the end of the general readings for the week. I want to thank you all for being here. If there is anyone that would like me to answer an individual question for them, go ahead and put it in the comments section. Send your love offerings either to my Cash App or my PayPal, both of which are scrolling below. As you all do that, I will bring you up to date on things that I'm working on. Forecast readings are no longer available technically. They're still on my site, but after Tuesday morning, I'm going to take them off. I did leave them to linger because there were a couple of you who said that you just needed the extra week to submit payment. So if for whatever reason you still want to book, they will be up for another 48 hours, okay? Ancestral Life Path readings are still on sale, and they will be on sale for the remainder of the month in honor of Black History Month. So if you've never gotten an Ancestral Life Path reading, if it's been, a year or more since your last Ancestral Life Path reading, you may want to use this time to go ahead and book one. The code LOVE is also still working, and it will probably work until tomorrow night. So if you use the code LOVE, LOVE, at checkout, you get additional savings. Rich Spirit starts tomorrow, so there is no time to sign up for this round, but the next round will be taking place May 4th through 7th, okay? So if you missed out on this round, but you want to get involved in future rounds, go ahead and join the WhatsApp chat. The link is below. I will be doing a 222 portal activation for my patron members. So if you want to do the 222 portal, that's the February 22nd, the 222 portal activation next Sunday join my Patreon, okay? Everybody who is at a paid membership level of my Patreon will have access to the 222 portal activation that is going to take place February 22nd from 3 to 5 p.m., okay? Also, the classes for this month and next month will be posted on Patreon by tomorrow morning. So if you're not on the Patreon, consider joining. There's exclusive classes, exclusive readings, exclusive live streams, conjure crafting sessions. We have a lot of stuff going on over there, okay? I also want to remind people that I am accepting members to Charm School. We're looking to have people join the March and the April cohorts. There won't be a May one, but there will be a March and an April cohort. So if you're interested in Charm School, go ahead and click that link below. Some of you guys want mentorship, but due to, your schedules or due to, where you are, you can't really commit to Charm School. I have Study Hall. Study Hall is my self-paced mentorship program. So Study Hall students get 2 to 3 pre-recorded classes along with assignments that they are able to complete at their own time and pace every month. And because it is self-paced, it is a little cheaper than Charm School. So if you are interested in mentorship, but you can't commit to the mandates of Coven, you can't commit to having a partner, can't commit to weekly in-person classes, you can't really have consultations with me, consider joining the self-paced program, okay? And you can learn about it, again, by joining the Charm School Intake WhatsApp, okay? So I see that Dulcinea sent a love offering. I see that Aisha sent a love offering. I see that JL sent a love offering. So I'm going to go ahead and start answering questions in order received. Aisha is first, then I'll do JL, then I'll do Dulcinea. If there's anyone else that has a question that they want me to answer, go ahead and send your love offerings and I will get to you, okay? So Aisha wants to know, I hope you feel better too, JL. I hope so. I didn't read the comments directly. I just see somebody responding to you. I hope you feel better. Yesterday, I started experiencing excruciating tooth pain. I've never experienced this before. Could I get some insight? Is there a spiritual component I'm missing? Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits to walk with me. Elevated ancestors. What's going on with Aisha's tooth pain? Is there a spiritual component? If so, give us nature and insight into why this is happening to her. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. No, just go to the dentist. It's not spiritual. Seven of Cups, I think that there is, and we've had conversations one-on-one, so there is a lot of spiritual energy and stuff happening around you. And I think that because there is so much going on around you, you just get confused and think that everything is spiritual. This isn't it though, right? King of Wands, your body is relatively healthy. You have to have confidence that everything that happens isn't related to that, right? It's really important that you move with that wisdom. We have the Wheel of Fortune, clarified by the Five of Cups, not Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles, and the Moon card. So again, it's just time. It's just time for you to go to the dentist, like literally. I think especially because you have been so focused on other health issues, right? Because Five of Pentacles does represent struggles with health. And then the Moon card, mystery, worry, things of that nature. I think you just got to go to the dentist. That's it. It's not a spiritual issue. It's really not. Yeah, it's not a spiritual issue. You just got to go to the dentist. And I don't think you, so this is going to sound fucked up. You have not neglected your dental hygiene. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say is that sometimes when we have health issues going on, we can be so wrapped up in that one particular health issue that we neglect things that are going on with the other aspects of our health, right? I've done that before, right? I've been so wrapped up in certain health things that I've missed neurology appointments and things like that. So no, it's not spiritual. It's not spiritual. It's not spiritual in any way. But just go ahead and book a dental appointment. Okay. JL is next, I believe. If there's anyone else that has a question, go ahead and submit your love offering and I will get to you after Dulcinea. So there's JL, then there's Dulcinea, and then there's whoever is next. I've been taking care of my teeth and seeing them regularly. So I am shocked. That makes sense, what you're saying. I take care of my teeth regularly too. But during COVID, I got a tooth abscess. And I was flossing. I hadn't changed anything in my dental regimen. Sometimes it just happens, right? Sometimes you just get a tooth issue, and it's not from lack of dental hygiene or care. And that's why that King of Wands was there, because it's not like, so the best way I can explain it is that King of Wands is arrogance, right? And you too pretty to neglect your teeth. So I know you're not neglecting your dental hygiene. So it's not for lack of care, but you just got to go to the doctor and see what's going on. But it's not spiritual. And thank you for sending your love offering via PayPal, JL. It's my birthday week. And in run-up, I've been feeling really messages. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits walk with me. Elevated ancestors. What wisdom does JL need right now about why she is feeling really low? Her birthday is coming up, and this should be a time where she's able to celebrate her progress and celebrate another year of life. Give us insight into why she's feeling low, and if there's anything she can do spiritually, any spiritual medicine she could take on at this time to shift her energy. Highlight that in this reading. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I just realized Lent starts Wednesday and we have Rich Spirit this week. Ramadan starts Tuesday and we have Rich Spirit. I want to observe Ramadan this year, but I'm going to have to start it late because, as you guys know, I start my fast for Rich Spirit before the ritual even starts. And I'm sorry, I don't have the strength to go straight into Ramadan after I've been fasting for as long as I have. So I need at least a day or two to have a little bit of dairy and stuff, and then I'll go into Ramadan. I accidentally pulled 6 cards for you, JL, but I'm going to read them all. Four, 5, King of Cups. If there's anyone who wants a reading, send in your love offering, and I will get to you after Dulcinea, okay? We're doing JL now, then we're going to do Dulcinea, and then we'll do whoever else would like a reading after that, okay? If you would like a reading from me, but you don't feel the greatest or the safest about getting public readings, again, that love discount code is still working, LOVE. You can get 20% off of any order on my website over $65. So if you know you haven't gotten a private reading in a while, Take advantage. Ancestral Life Path readings are on sale. Love and Romance readings are still on sale. Erotic Power sessions are still on sale. And then also you can just get a general reading as well. King of Cups, emotional safety, emotional discipline. I think you are thinking a lot about the lack in your life as opposed to thinking about your abundance, right? And that's coming up because the King of Cups is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. Although you have had some significant wins recently, you are still thinking about the ways in which you feel stretched thin or on a tightrope, right? And that's bringing you out of balance in terms of your emotions, right? I think it's really important for you to take the time between now and your birthday. And I know it's only a couple days away, so just take the next few days to really allow yourself to get into alignment, right? Gemini energy. To really see yourself, love on yourself for how far you've come, right? See the full reality of where you are, and that'll put you much more in a spirit of positivity and gratitude. It would also be a really good idea to do some protection work over your home. I don't know when was the last time you did like a floor wash or just a smudging of your home, but really allowing your home to be a safe and nurturing space for you right now is deeply important, JL, because I think intuitively I'm getting that you're going to be spending a lot of time in your home if you don't already spend a lot of time in your home. So really cleaning out and clearing out the energy of your home is going to help you tremendously. But it's coming from the fact that you are uncharacteristically and unnecessarily hard on yourself, right? Devil card, negative attachments, yes, but in this instance it's the Capricorn energy. Devil card is Capricorn energy. And Capricorns can be so wrapped up in duty and responsibility that they don't allow themselves to have joy, right? And so I think a part of what's happening in terms of why you feel really low is because you are looking at yourself in terms of duty and responsibility and all the things you think you should have done and what should be, you're shooting yourself into depression, right? So that's why Gemini, if Geminis can do one thing, they can have fun. They're smart as hell, but a Gemini is going to find a way to get a laugh in and have some fun, right? So the more aligned you get, the more you can really see all facets of yourself and understand how far you've come, the more that's going to bring you into alignment and into the energy of spirit and joy. But there's a lot of indecision in you. It's like you can't really see fully how far you've come and how well you're doing because of that spirit of indecision. And then again, we have the Empress, really nurturing your feminine. Domesticity is going to make you feel better this week. So not only nurturing your home, doing a spiritual cleanse over your home, but really taking care of yourself, right? Getting aligned, doing your womb work, really allowing space for your creative, right, to shine through. And when I say creative, like entrepreneurs do this really, really fucked up thing, and I do it a lot, right? Where if spirit tells me I need to lean into my creativity, I feel safest focusing on the creativity in my business. Don't do that. Something creative that has absolutely nothing to do with work at all, in any way, shape, or form, is important, okay? Really relying on pleasure and believing that you will still be safe if you can take 5 minutes away from hyperfixating on your business and really lean into pleasure. Giving tremendously to yourself as opposed to other people, okay? I literally have the mop bucket, floor wash, and Florida water out. I do. Okay. Good. Give it time. Let it settle in. Hopefully that helps tremendously. If you can smudge your home, do that as well. If you're in a place where you can't really burn things, try a simmer pot. I just did a simmer pot earlier today. Actually, that's what I did right before I took my nap after we were done with the cord cutting. I did a simmer pot with some cinnamon, some apples, some oranges, a little bit of the star anise I had left over from the honey I made for Rich Spirit, and some mint, I believe. And that's literally going on. My house smells delicious right now because between this jasmine candle and my simmer pot, there's just a lot of good smells going on. So I would encourage you to really, I think a simmer pot would be good for you. I think a simmer pot would be good. But really taking time to nest into your home and making good. I love it. I love that. So let that really fill the space in your house before you cool it off to take your bath. And if that has helped you in terms of feeling a little bit different, let that urge you to do another simmer pot tomorrow. That's why I love doing simmer pots, because I can do them as often as I feel like it, right? So I hope that helped. I hope that answered your question. We have Dulcinea. Now, if there's anyone else that has a question after Dulcinea, go ahead and put that on in the comments and I'll take care of you. You are very welcome, JL. Dulcinea wants to know, why do I get dreams that seem to have to do with the devil, that seem dark, involve male priests? I'm going to switch decks. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me, my elevated ancestors. Dulcinea is having dreams about a male priest dressed in red, having dreams about the devil. What's going on? What is Spirit trying to tell her through these dreams? What is she being warned about? What is the spiritual wisdom that is coming through these dreams? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Clarify temperance. What do we need to know about temperance? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. You need to, either through prayer or through some sort of spiritual working, ask for protection from male manipulators. There is going to be somebody who is male or male identified, and I'm saying male identified because it can't just be a woman who moves like a nigga, right? Coming into your life at some point soon. And I'm going to use language that sounds dramatic to siphon your energy, right? They're going to make you a lot of promises, specifically around progress. These promises are career related, but they benefit more than you do. And the way that they get to you is very much through emotional manipulation, right? I think movies and like Pixar and shit makes us think that the devil is big and loud and abrasive. No, he shows up through whispers. He shows up through emotional manipulation, right? And so this man coming into your life probably is not the devil himself, but he's doing the devil's work, if that makes sense. I'm saying this language because this is the language that you're using. In my spiritual practice, we don't believe in the devil. There are actually a lot of things much worse than the devil, right? But it is a man who has negative intentions, meaning to siphon your energy. And that's why that energy is showing up in your dreams as the devil. So, temperance, balance, moderation. You need to be moving slowly. Don't let nobody speed or coerce you into moving fast into anything. There's going to be somebody that shows up with promises of increasing your visibility, helping you reach milestones, helping you get access to something. They may do this through proposing some sort of partnership. That partnership can be romantic or business. It can be either one, okay? And here's the thing. Even though they're proposing to help you get advancement, they want to siphon from you. There's a strength that you have and you carry, right? Queen of Pentacles is very abundant. And so they're doing this through emotional manipulation. They're really going to be playing on your mind, on your emotions, on your psyche, right? I don't know if you've ever taken any of my classes where I talk about the Royal Court and Tarot, but whereas the King of Swords plays in his debilitation plays a lot of mind games through mental manipulation and intellectual manipulation, the King of Cups plays on your weaknesses. They play a lot of emotional games. So you just have to be really, really leery of any men who are trying to love bomb you, get too close to you too soon, promise you the world, even if it's not romantic, right? Because they're siphoning from you in a really particular way, okay? All right. I don't see questions from anyone else, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that that's it for the night. I hope you all enjoyed this reading. I hope that what we went over as a collective was beneficial to you all. I will be back on Thursday for a happy hour reading. I'm not going to say what the topic is right now, but if you are not already a member of the Facebook group, go ahead and join. I think you guys are going to enjoy the topic tremendously. If you are not already a member of my Patreon, make sure you join. It's only going to be through the Patreon that you have access to the 222 portal activation. And that is going to take place Sunday, February 22nd, 3 to 5 p.m. EST. Okay? Love you all. Take care, and I'll see you Thursday. Bye.